Hey guys, Ray from Love You RV and Boat. Just heading in to pick up a 60-gallon bladder of water, bring it back to our boondocking spot. I went in and took the sewer tote in, but of course I forgot my water bladder, so I'm headed back. So I thought this would be a good chance to just give you an update on what we've been doing in December. So I think when I last updated you about the Snowbird trip, we were going to Trona Pinnacles in California, sort of in early December after Thanksgiving down here. I think we went there actually for the Thanksgiving weekend. Right after that it really mellowed out and very peaceful. Had a great time out there. I think we stayed maybe a week or 10 days, something like that, and it was a good spot. The wind was really low. The winds can kick up there, and the temperatures for December have been above the last year's normal. Last few years it's been sort of cool and a lot of rainy days even, but this year it's been very dry. I was talking to a local person right now. We're camped near Aho, and she said it was a dry summer, and down here they didn't get their normal amount of monsoon rain, so it's been pretty dry. So yeah, we stayed at Trona. Very nice starry skies there. And next we moved down to Salton Sea, where we wanted to stay for a week. We like the Salton Sea. Usually in December we'll go down there. And along the way we stopped off at Amboy, stayed on Route 66 there, and just for an overnight near the Amboy Crater, right by the Roy's Motel and Cafe, just in a parking lot. It was just kind of in between traveling, and we were going to go down to the Salton Sea, and as we were going through Joshua Tree National Park, it was a Sunday, and I guess being the week after Thanksgiving, there wasn't too many people there, so we were able to snag a spot in one of the first come first served campgrounds that only has about 3 campsites that will fit our rig. And so we stayed there, and actually stayed there for 3 nights. It was a little coolish up there because you're up around 4,000 feet, so kind of cold at night, and even the days were cool, but the same thing, it wasn't very windy except for one day. And even though it was not very high in temperature, maybe in the 50s Fahrenheit, it was still warm in the sun, so that was nice to get there. We had a nice hike through the desert up there. Then we made it down to Salton Sea. While we're at Salton Sea, we went and did a little tour of the Sonny Bono Salton Sea National Wildlife Refuge. We hadn't been there for several years, and they've sort of added on to it, kind of fixed up some of the areas. Didn't get to see a whole lot of birds because we went during the day, and I think a lot of the birds were out in the fields around there feeding on leftovers. We did see some flocks of snow geese and some waterfowl, some kind of shorebirds, but it was a nice day for a drive around. We saw a small burrowing owl. That was kind of cool. Saw him standing by his perch, and then he ran into his burrow, but we kind of waited till he was peeking out. Super cute. And yeah, so we did a little hike there. There was a little pond you could hike around. Kind of, it was our anniversary day. It was a year ago, 14th of December, when we were married in Vegas, if you remember that. It was a big occasion last winter. And we've been together 21 years, so celebrated that. And then it was Anne's birthday, and the next day, her birthday is December 15th. A lot of celebrations in December for us, because we have anniversary, Anne's birthday, Christmas, New Year's. So after that, we wanted to come down here where we spent the last few Christmases and New Year's, just in some BLM here near the little town of Aho, Arizona, about 30 miles from Oregon Pipe Cactus National Monument. And there's some free BLM land kind of all around the town. If you go out, there's different places. One called Gunsight Wash and Darby Well. We're camped on one called Alley Road, kind of on the scenic loop here, which is what I'm driving now as I'm heading into town. Yeah, so we came down here. We needed a stopover spot, kind of break up the trip. This was going to be 5 or 6 hour drive, so we split it in half and stopped at a little kind of travel center called in Dateland. Not much there other than the travel center and an RV park. So we stopped overnight there, went in and asked them if we could camp in, or just overnight in the back parking lot. They kind of have a big dirt area for, I guess, semi-trucks. And they said sure. So we camped there. Wasn't too much trucks that night. Just basically us and a few trucks. The trains kind of zoomed by there. So we're kind of used to that. And uses earplugs. I sleep like a rock, so it doesn't really bother us if there's trains or interstate traffic. It's pretty close to the interstate too, but it was free. We went in and bought some dates and a few other things in their store, and then got up the next day and came down here. We've been down here, spent Christmas here, and now it's a couple days after Christmas. We'll spend New Year's here, so we'll max out our 14 days in this BLM area, and then we'll move on to January. So that's kind of the update for December. Like I say, I'm just headed in to get a bag of water from, there's an RV park in town here called Belly Acres, and for $12 you can dump your rig and fill with water and get rid of your garbage. So that's how we deal with our stuff here. And across the street is Olson's Market, which is a kind of a small town grocery store, but they have kind of a little deli, and they actually have a butcher in there, so not too bad. Not great for vegetables, but pretty good for meats and things. And actually there's beside it there's a hardware store kind of in the same building, kind of a general store kind of deal. There's a few gas stations in town and places to get propane. I think diesel right now is about $3.99, but propane was like $4 something. These dirt bikes go by. A lot of people do this loop with their dirt bikes and ATVs, etc. Yeah, so it's a little bit pricier here for groceries and supplies, but kind of off the beaten path. There was one day Anne had a problem with a wisdom tooth. She has some wisdom teeth coming in, actually. So it was getting towards Christmas, and she didn't know if she had an abscess or not, so I said we better go check it out. It was pretty far to drive to Los Algodones in Mexico, so we buzzed into Buckeye. It's about an hour and 15 minutes from here, and she got her teeth looked at, and that she didn't have an abscess, which is good, but she's got some wisdom teeth that are going to have to be pulled out at some point. But in Buckeye there's a big Walmart Supercenter and Lowe's, kind of a big shopping area, so I was able to stock up on groceries and things there, where they're a little better priced. And I just did a video on our fridge freezer, and also coming up with a video on a new water filter system from Blue Technology. So I've used Blue Technology's little filters, and I've used some Clear Source filters, gone back and forth, but they have a new 10-inch filter system that is actually quite compact. So I'm going to be testing that out, so look for that video. They kind of go slow on this road, otherwise you kick up a whole bunch of dust. And there's some people actually have little houses on the outskirts here, so they have kind of a 15-mile-an-hour limit. But you can see I'm starting to come. I went around through those hills, and I'm starting to come out towards the town of Ajo here. Not too far, we'll be back on pavement. Okay, this is where I pop out, sort of on the main drag through town. There's one of the fuel stations there, propane. There's an RV park here, Shadow Ridge RV Resort. Actually never gone up in there. Looks like a fairly decent RV place. Over here there's some dollar stores. There's a laundromat. There's a little store over there that's actually an old Radio Shack, an appliance store, and they will accept packages for people. I think they can charge $5 a package. You can actually get mail there, and UPS and FedEx, Amazon, so that's convenient. And there's some little restaurants and things along here. We don't really eat out much, so I don't know much about them. I like to cook my own food. Which reminds me, Anne got me a new barbecue for Christmas. I think it's a Weber Q1000. Nice little barbecue, and it's small enough to fit inside the storage bay, which is nice. It's like she picked a nice one. I used to have an old grill, but it's pushing close to 13, 14 years now, so it's kind of getting pretty beat up. And the one on our boat that came with the boat, the thing rusted out inside, so it's time for a new barbecue. So we use it on both the RV and the boat, so I'll show you that at some point. All sorts of knick-knack little places along here. Hasn't been taken over by any too many chains. There's no McDonald's or any fast foods here. It's kind of remained kind of a neat little desert town. There's a visitor center here for Kabizi Prieta Wildlife Refuge, I think. Not much camping out there for big rigs. So if you keep going straight on this road for, I don't know, maybe 30, 40 miles, you hit Interstate 8 at Gila Bend. And then you can go west to Yuma or east to Phoenix from there. Yeah, so on the left is the IGA Olson's Market and Ace Hardware, and then there's another fuel station here in Chevron. There's another 2 RV parks on the right here. So Aho Heights RV Park, and then the Belly Acres is where I'm going. And then there's also a Napa store here that has RV supplies and repair, automotive. So you got pretty well all you need out here. Here we go. So this is the dump station. Like I say, dump $8, water $5, both $12. So I already did the dump station. I'm going to do some water here. Water tap right there. There we go. back at camp, emptying my bladder into the rig. A little sneak peek at an upcoming review. You see that Blue Technology filter system is much slimmer and lighter than the clear source. Till next time, Ray from Lovey RV and Boat. Thanks for watching, everyone. Cheers.